go. As always, for sure. Whoa.
What up, though?
What up, though?
How you doing? How you been?
How long you been sitting on there?
Like 20 minutes.
You lying. How are you?
I'm great. How you doing? Should I put headphones on?
Either way, they're
it sounds like better. When I was talking to Zeno earlier, it sounded like it was clouded. When he was
You at the crib, got the flowers going?
Yeah, man. So I keep, okay, so Shine, something about me. I have to keep fresh flowers in my house. My mom said it just brings good vibes.
I agree.
My grandma used to have flowers. She used to, both of my sets of my grandmas actually used to have roses, like they grew roses, tough.
Yeah.
In the country. Yeah. So
I agree. I got the same thing going on in my house.
What you got going? What's your favorite? What's your flower of choice? Do you have one?
Yeah, I like roses the most. And I have all sorts of flowers, and I got wild roses growing in my yard and stuff too. I pick them sometimes. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think it's a lot more involving, and you get more good vibes when you pick them yourself.
Yeah, it's beautiful. That's beautiful. What you over there cooking?
So I'm cooking some breakfast.
Okay.
I'm cooking some breakfast because we were scheduled to talk earlier today.
I know.
And I was like, so he just big time like that to where he can't?
No, I was ready. I just was like 15 minutes late. I was like, it was a little early for me.
I figured that. And when I was like, you know what my biggest fear was? Biggest fear was, I said, oh my gosh, what if I do the interview early in the morning and he's not a morning person?
Very true. Yeah.
So, I was already taking a chance already.
And I ran into I had to take care of some personal stuff too. I didn't realize some unexpected stuff happened. So I had to I was running a little late.
No problem. So I'm making breakfast, and the reason that I chose to make breakfast today, I have this podcast. It's called At the Table. So everybody knows in a Black family, you always sit at the table to have the family meetings. You had the family dinners there. And even last time that we talked when I was in Detroit, we were talking about Thanksgiving when we were at River Rouge, right?
Right.
One of the bigger things for me that makes me so Detroit is eating at the Click. I literally ate there every morning. Sure.
The Click is very, very, very Detroit. That's like my dad used to take me there. That was like, he thought he was so special for taking me there. And he was, though. You know, it was like a very, very, if you know type of vibe. And it's such good breakfast.
God, that breakfast for me, seriously, Sean, it was like a bill. Like I didn't go a day without eating the breakfast there. That's how crazy it was.
But you ate at the original Pancake House too, right?
Yes, I did. Now here's the deal. So I think I went. Where was it that I went? Okay, so I want to say there was a hospital. Dang, I'm gonna have to. I can't think of what hospital it was. It was one that was by a hospital. It was like in the suburban kind of area.
Right, probably off of Woodward.
Ain't no telling. I can't think of it, but I did have it a couple of times. But it really wasn't half bad because out here in the South we got IHOP.
Right. It's IHOP there too, but them pancakes are a little better at the Pancake House for sure.
Pancake House for sure. So what's your go-to Click meal when you was there, when you used to go eat there? What was your go-to?
My go-to Click meal had to be they had these these sausages. So I would get grits, eggs, because that was one of the few places that did grits in the D too. Like they do grits, eggs, these sausages, I was like, they would do like a waffle too. That was pretty straight.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the best, but it was really good. All the food, all the food was very, you could tell it was made with love,
Oh God, seasoned. Yeah. And it's super family oriented there too. It was always good vibes. So yeah. I'm excited because one, this album is crazy. If I could describe it in a word, it's literally crazy. So when I met you a couple years back, when we were in River Rouge at the high school doing the give back, I had said something and I forget the clip, and you had said, "Oh yeah," and I was like, "It's kind of crazy. I'm sure it is for you to like all this to be full circle." And you said, "It's funny you say that because I'm working on my album, and it's something along the lines of full circle." Sean, you got a whole song called Full Circle.
I know. That's one of my favorite songs too.
Mine too. It gave me a little bit of vibes of like a nothing is stopping you alongside with something fresh. I don't know. And I will say this, I want to start the conversation off with this. One, I think everybody off rip, when you do this radio TV thing, like you have your bucket list of people that you really want to talk to and like really get insight from, because it's more than just, oh, so yeah, what do you like to do in your spare time? Like that kind of general conversation. It's more along the lines of getting in that person's head and really understanding who they are outside of what you see. And for me, it's Brandy, which I got to do this year. I did her like last month.
Crazy. Crazy.
You and Chris Brown.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just say this, I'm 2 for 2. So if you want to put in a call to your boy Chris and be like, "Hey, I met this cool chick, you got to talk to her, bro. Good vibes." Do that.
Yeah, of course. I got a link with Chris too. That's my brother. So like,
I was surprised he wasn't on the album. How did you decide? Let's hop into this. How did you decide who you were going to feature on the album? It's so many people, like from an array of places.
Yeah. Well, I really wanted it to feel like, because my last album I only had like 2 or 3 features, so I wanted to feel like I was bringing a festival to Detroit. I wanted it to be like people from Detroit, not from Detroit, and it feel like it was a party in the city. You know what I'm saying? And the first Detroit I did, the mixtape, it was a lot of features on there too. So I was like, okay, I want this to be a feature heavy project, because that's just where I was with it. And every feature I literally, except for Eminem and Royce, those were the only 2 that I wasn't in the room with or like personally vibed with. I just sent it to, but like it was such a personal connection with everybody. Like it wasn't no forcing anything. Like I was working on stuff with Anderson .Paak, and then we worked on that. Wale, uh, Post, Wayne, like everyone. We were all just in the studio at different times, and just something.
You actually kind of started your journey with Wale. Wale kind of helped you out at the top.
He did.
Yeah.
Wale was the first person to invite me on tour, and I took that. I accepted that invitation, and my homie drove his mom's SUV, and like we were following his tour bus, and all crammed into one hotel room every night. And I don't even know if we were making $250 a show, maybe at the most, something like that. But it was beautiful. It's beautiful to be here with my brothers still, and to be able to like share our platform and do our thing on a way larger scale than we were then.
Yeah. How many times do you think that it probably runs across your head? Because I know that you're a spiritual guy too. So we always walk in the spirit of gratitude. At least we try to. We say we do, but I mean, on a day-to-day,
I do.
We really try, right? So how often do you have that thought that it's just like, dang, like we used to be out here really deal, not even making $250 like you just said, and now look at us.
Every day I'd be like, man, thank you, God. Thank you to the universe. That's like the first thing, not even just because I think it's the right thing to do. It's just by habit. Like, I just be like, as soon as I wake up, that's my first thought before I pick up my phone or, before I go meditate and before I like, get to my day, even before I take a piss, man, I'm like, thank you, God. You know what I'm saying? So it's serious for me. I don't even try. It's like I automatically know that,
Yeah, I think that's dope. When did you really
it could always go either way,
Yeah.
It could go either way. So I'm thankful that it went my way,
That's so good. What kind of started this I guess form of meditation or just like this increase in spirituality? I'll say for me, my parents, I grew up a pastor's kid, you know what I'm saying? Singing in the church and doing church announcements and X, Y, and Z. And I mean, I'm a youth pastor now in my church. And now I think like, I know where my influence came from, right? Did you have that growing up, or was that something that more so along the lines, at some point we all grow up and say, we got to get this relationship good for ourselves. When was that moment for you?
Well, yeah, I kind of grew up not necessarily the same as you, but I went to church every Sunday. when it was in high school when I first really started meditating. My mom put me on and showed me how important it was, but I didn't really see how important it was until I really was experiencing life even more, like outside of high school and after high school. And for me, I always had a spiritual connection. I always believed in manifesting things, and like I knew how powerful my word was. But it wasn't until the last couple years where I felt like I came to a point in my life where I was confused because I, realized that okay, I'm doing what I love to do and like it's my dream, but I just felt broken inside, and I felt like my passion and my hunger had left me and my inspiration wasn't there. And I didn't know like, I was debating if I should like stop music or if I should, I didn't know what was wrong. So really I was burnt out and I had to stop everything I was doing, all the commitments I had, and just like, okay, how am I going to work on myself? I didn't even know how to express myself. Like, I come from a family of like World War II veterans, right? My grandma and my granddad, and they were amazing people, but I don't think they expressed their emotions that well, and it trickled down to me, I guess. And I didn't know how to express myself. So it was a new thing for me going to therapy and like talking about how I felt and why I felt and really articulating. It was harder than it sounds for sure. And I worked on that. I worked on my body, mind, body, and soul. I definitely strengthened my spirit, my spiritual connection, got deeper in my meditations. And one of the things I did with that, besides journaling every day and like, writing down my intentions and desires and things like that, I would go back to when I was like 19 and 15 and all these monumental moments in my life where I felt so hungry and so passionate, where I was like sleeping in the studio and like, these moments that just made me feel so alive. And what it did was me revisiting that, it brought back the passion and the fire that I had to the present moment, and it felt like I was returning to my essence, but as a newer and improved and more experienced version of myself. So that I feel like when I started getting back to the music for real, I feel like my bandwidth had expanded and I was like coming up with things and talking about things that happened to me when I was 19, like, about my heart, or talking about things that I probably would be too nervous or too scared to talk about before. And I was just opening up and being honest, and it is what it is. And I know some people hear it, some people don't, but I know it's not for everybody.
Yeah. When you were coming up with the album, I know, I mean, that was 2018 when we chopped it up, and I mean, it's 2020 now. And before we get into that part, coronavirus, it's been a lot going on, in March. So, okay, the album was originally supposed to drop 313 Day, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
I'm like, first of all, my first 313 Day was so dope. It was my birthday too.
Wow.
Fun fact. So I
Thank
had a
you.
whole holiday in Detroit, my first go round.
Yeah.
And so to know that the album was slated to drop around that time, and it got pushed back because of Corona. What was your thoughts when that kind of happened? I know that we adapt and we adjust, but were you like, all right, I'm gonna just trust the timing on it, or I really want to get this out to the people?
It was like one of those things where I had to surrender to the universe and like really ask myself, like, okay, am I ready? Like, is this 100% ready? And I felt like I wasn't all the way ready in my heart. Like the music was almost there, but I was like, it was a couple little tweaks that I feel like I wanted to do. And back then I didn't have the stories from Dave Chappelle and Stevie Wonder and Erica Badu. And a couple other songs that probably got added, like Feed. I did have Full Circle, but like there was a couple songs that I probably didn't have then. And it wouldn't have been the exact same album. It would have been in the same kind of the same light, but I feel like it was a better album. So one of the things that I always like pray on and ask for is like divine timing. Like let it happen when it's right. So I gotta feel when it's right, and I'm glad I did that this time because it felt right in the end.
Hmm. Did it feel
Mhm.
right, like your first go around? Was this the most right that you felt?
Yeah, for me it was definitely. There are definitely times where I felt like it was right as well, but yeah, this felt like that too. It just it felt like okay. this is complete and I can go in and, because there was a lot of songs I didn't use too that it's like, okay, I can keep going, keep my momentum going, and creatively, I mean, really, I can't go on tour right now. I can't do anything else. So it's like, I want to just keep the momentum going and keep creating,
That was my next question. So, real talk, how many songs did you record? Because you didn't Chris Brown us to death, right? It won the 50 song front and back A-B side, How many songs did you have in the vault for this one that was just like, oh, this is a good one. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to put this in the maybe pile.
I only had honestly, probably 7, 8 other songs that I ain't used for this, but they were good. They were great songs too, to me at least. And it was just the album was so long already that it was like I didn't want to give them too much. And songs like the Friday Night Cypher kind of came together at the last minute. So, I took a song off. I took a song off of for that, and then there was another song I had with Wiz and ASAP Rocky that that I love that I took that off too. But it's just because it's just like the album felt complete, so I was just going off of the body based on the body of work, really.
All right, so let's take a break. You brought it up, and I had to talk to you about it because I'm a fan first. So the Friday Night Cypher. So when I first got to Hot 107.5, everybody was like, oh my God. I think I started on an actual Thursday. So my next day, of course, was Friday. They was like, you gotta come to the Cypher. And they was just really hyping this thing up. And funny enough, before that, we have a mutual friend, Pajian, that's my sister.
Oh, okay. Pajian, that's my homie for sure.
Yes. And so everything that I knew about Detroit was literally through your music and what Pajian said. That's it. Right. So when I got down there, they were like, you got to go to the Cypher. And I told all my friends back here, I remember calling them when I got in the car afterwards. It was like, first of all, I can't even back out because the station is packed. I don't.
Oh, yeah. All them cars.
You nobody tell me to move my car. All the way down almost to Jefferson, parking by Walgreens and stuff. I'm like, I never knew that this was such a big deal. And I got to get the story. So besides the nothing is stopping you verse, I need to know what happened. Take me to that moment because I know that studio. I know that couch. What happened that day?
I mean, honestly, so first of all, I used to, every Friday after school, we would go down to the Friday Night Cypher. And, when I first started doing it, it was like a big deal because obviously you get to hear yourself on the radio, So I'm selling CDs in high school. I'm trying to expand my, my audience, you feel me? And yeah, I feel like as we were going down there, it was getting bigger and bigger. I literally caught on to the Friday Night Cypher as it was growing, and it started to become more and more of a thing in the city. And I would be nervous as hell every week on there too, having new verses written every week. It was very intense. So we kept that going. And I remember the first time I did it, I fucked up on air, and they were like, you can't come back. And I was like, please. I remember I begged.
How old were you?
I was 16.
Yeah, we ain't heard this one. You bombed the first Friday Night Cypher? Jeez.
I did. And they were like, you can't come back. You fucked up on the radio, on air. And I was like, man, I felt so bad. I came back the next week and they gave me another chance. They was like, man, you got one more shot. And I went in and did super. I nailed it, And I just remember feeling so fulfilled in that moment, so happy, especially the times where sometimes it would be not live all the way. So a 15-minute delay or something like that, or 10-minute delay. And I could hear myself on the radio sometimes, So it was that was just the best feeling. But anyway, I did that for a year. Straight, you know what I'm saying? I don't think they did it in the summers that much, but sometimes, it would just be basically every week though. And Kanye was there promoting his album Late Registration. And, College Dropout, after that, I was the biggest Kanye fan. He had that song Last Call on his album. That was the first song I ever heard that made me feel like I could really do it myself. You know what I'm saying? It gave me that motivation that I really needed. So I just wanted to really pay my respects to him. But Found out he was at the station. I was cashing my check as a telemarketer. You know what I'm saying? My $120 check. And I drove down to the station because my homie called me and was like, man, Kanye down there. Like, if you rap for him, he'll sign you. And I just remember being like, man, that sound dumb as hell. But then I was like, actually, let me try it. Fuck it. Why not? So went down there. DJ Gary Chandler was there too. And I remember he was like, yo, Kanye right down the hall.
I love him. That was my DJ.
Yeah, Kanye down the hall. I was like, shit, I'm gonna go holler at him. And I hollered at him. And Kanye was like, yo, I told him like, yo, man, I listen to you all the blah, 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 And he was like, thanks, man, appreciate it. And he kept walking. And I was like, yo, like, can I rap for you, man? Like, while walking out. And he was like, all right, I don't really have time, but you can rap while we walking. You got 16 bars, go. I start rapping. And by the time we get to the exit of the front of the station, like, front/exit, we stopped in the middle of the doorway and I just kept rapping for like 10 minutes straight because I've been writing all them verses every week for the cypher. So it's like,
I'm up here.
I had bars on bars on bars on bars on bars and I just didn't stop. Plus I had the CDs I've been selling around high school and he took that and, that was just the initial moment. It's like the rap fairy tale, And it took a couple years after that for it to really happen, but that was the start of it. And that's a powerful, powerful story. You know what I mean? So that's how it happened.
And you said it perfectly, a rap fairy tale, because I mean, who has a story like that?
I gotta make that a movie or something one day.
You really should. I mean, that could be something to throw on the YouTube for us doing coronavirus. Come on, let's do it.
I know, for real. And I know that it's something that I be like, damn, I still can't believe it. I be like, damn.
Yeah.
And, man, yeah.
When you come back to the city, do you ever have an opportunity to like catch up with those people that you maybe used to do the cypher with, or that do you follow them on Instagram? Do you talk to Gary when you touch down? Like, how is it when you come home? What does Sean do?
Yeah, I definitely be seeing Gary. He be doing a lot of events. I be seeing him at a lot of the events that I do, especially my foundation. Hydro was heavy at the ciphers when I was there, and that's my dog. So I always see him. And a lot of my friends, they were the ones down there with me doing it. So yeah, I'll always run into the people who used to be supportive and always showing love. And DJ BJ, that's my brother, so
25.
Yeah, I always be running into people. And I seen back then it was Lieutenant Dre and Sonny. Was it Sonny who was on it? Or
the Hot Boys?
I'm tripping. It was Sugar Ray. Yeah, and the Hot Boys. Sugar Ray, Lieutenant Dre, it was a lot of people, like, so they all showed up whenever I see
business owner and all that stuff now. Views Bar and Grill. I said Dre got the Views Bar and Grill and stuff now, like how everybody has just evolved.
Oh, that's amazing. I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
God is good.
Whole situation so dope. I love it. Anyways, full circle once again. So talk to me about putting together the album. What were your top 3 favorites? What were the 3 that you were like, I don't know?
My top 3 favorites were Body Language.
Agreed.
That's like one of my favorites on the whole album.
Because your favorite is on the album.
Yeah, I love that song. She did so good on there too.
Yeah.
And Ty Dolla $ign for real. I really like the song Full Circle a lot. I really like I really like Down Life with me and Wayne too. That's one of my favorites on there. I feel like that was like us just really, really like getting to our essence of rapping and the Michael Jackson sample, you know what I'm saying? And songs that I didn't think, like the intro happened at the very last second. Like that was the last thing I recorded. And Hit Boy had made I had to make like 4 or 5 different beats because I wasn't satisfied with it. I was like rewriting raps, and the literally like the last second the album was due is when I recorded like the first line of the album. So That was something I didn't think was gonna make it, but it did. And Lucky Me was also one of my favorites too. That's like I love
My
that song.
favorites. That's my favorite.
Yeah,
Love
Lucky Me is
You are the
crazy.
best. When I tell you seriously, you are one of the best lyrical storytellers of our generation of music right now.
Wow.
Where I put
Thank you.
on anything up against anybody because literally when I tell you when you just rap and it's just so it's the way that it's structured. I mean, it's just there, and it feels like if you just close your eyes, you can just imagine it and see it, and
Man,
it's good. It's good.
thank you. Thank you, man. That's like, you work hard and especially when you open and you vulnerable and you like shit, you know, you don't know how people gonna react to it. People could judge you to death, pick you apart, tear you apart. If you take anything apart, you're gonna find something that's flawed. It's all really opinionated. So it's good when somebody, feels that way about the music. Cause I put so much of like my heart and so much thought into it and so much positive energy. So it's good that you feel like that. I appreciate that.
Most definitely. So I got to wrap up with you. So I got a couple more quick questions. So, how is it living life? I know you opened up a lot about suicide in this album and just talking about how you were feeling and doing like mentally. This National Suicide Awareness Month. What helped you? What would you suggest to somebody that may be going through something that they're not as vocal, or they're looking for some type of guidance or some type of direction and just don't know where to start, how to maneuver? What do you tell that person? I actually lost my cousin to suicide some years ago, and it's just crazy because as a friend you want to do as much as you can to be there, right? But it's like, what can you do?
My thing about suicide is like, I was thinking of suicide as an escape from my life, but then I realized that we've lost so many people, so many heroes, so many icons, so many relatives, so many brothers and sisters, that got their lives taken too soon. And you got to realize that if you still here, it's for a reason. You feel me? So it's like that reason will come to you as long as you live in your purpose, and your purpose can just be to be whatever makes you happy. As long as you do whatever makes you happy, you're gonna find your purpose because they align. That's the alignment, that's the vibration of it. So my thing is to realize that not only are you here for a reason, but I don't know if that's an escape from your problems. I do believe in past lives and I do believe in being old souls, right? So it's like sometimes people are how they are and who they are. And, we'd be like, oh, you got an old soul, or, you got this. Where'd you get that from? It's like maybe those problems don't escape you. Maybe you just carry them on to the next situation. So I think it's better to face them. I think it's better to face the trauma and the problems, and because I feel like it's gonna make you a better person, it's gonna make you stronger, it's gonna make you, turning your back on something just gives you room, gives it an opportunity to stab you in the back. When you face it head on, it's like
Yes.
you could beat them down and be done with them. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I just hope people realize that I don't think it's really an escape. I really don't.
I think that's good. Leaving a legacy is what it's all about. Living your life while you got and leaving a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Who we? All right. Well, couple of hot seat questions and we up out of here. All right. This is the hot seat. All Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay.
quick answers. What's your go-to Coney order?
Go-to corny order: grilled chicken pita with Swiss cheese.
All right. What's your first stop when you touch down in the city?
First stop, mom's house, my mama house, probably.
All right.
Usually.
Asian corned beef or Lou's Deli?
Corned beef, Lou's Deli.
All right. L. George's, Coney Island, or Olympia?
That's a good one. Hey, but I've enjoyed both of them. That's kind of like either or, really.
All right. Wires or buffs?
Huh?
Wires or buffs?
Buffs, come on now.
How many pairs you got?
How many pair of buffs I got?
Yeah.
I only got like 5 pair, something like that. 5 or 6 pair.
All right. Al Wasam or Pelly Pelly?
Al Wasam.
All right. Belle Isle or Rouge Park? You're in high school. Senior skip day. Where you going?
Belle Isle.
All right.
I went to Cass. I went to Cass. I went to Cass, so that's downtown.
Right down the road. Fairlane and Northland.
Northland.
All right. Hutch or Golden Sun?
Diamond Island, really. That was who I was fucking with. Diamond Island.
That one, Diamond Island. I had to look, put me on. Detroit Roller Wheels or Northland Skating Rink?
Northland Skating Rink.
All right, I'll do it. All right, now last thing I got, and I'm gonna let you get up out of here. So you put on Twitter not too long ago that you was looking for an artist to sign, and I feel as though you got some eyes out for some talent, and I just figured if you asked Kanye to rap, if you could rap for him, I figured I could ask you to rap too.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
You got some
bars? I think I got some bars. Are you ready? He had to sit back like this. He sit back. All right. Kanye didn't do you like that. Don't be sitting back like that, Sean. You just taking it all in.
Ready.
All right.
All right, let's go.
All right. My name is Ally Lynn, and you know I came to win. Just chopped it up with Big Bro, Big Sean at it again. You already know he putting down for the D. All the girls want to be like Jhené and get to the D. On Detroit Part 2, he gave his all, gave his soul. He took time for his mental health to give it to us whole. You dropped it on Twitter asking the world who to sign. Why not Ally Lynn's name on the dotted line? Bye!
Damn. I like that. Was real storytelling.
Real storytelling. See, I learned from the
proud moment.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so I have my people call your people, and we'll link that way.
Have your people call my people, and then we gonna be people.
There you go. Tell everybody where they can follow you on social media, Sean.
It's just at Big Sean everywhere. I appreciate you, man. It's good connecting with you. Good seeing you. Keep your spirits up.
I definitely will. All right. Be easy. Love you much.
All right, you too. Take care.
Peace.